Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Jim Gaffigan has released the trailer for his upcoming hilarious special. Hey, publicists, get back to me. It's called The Skinny. It'll be out on Hulu November 22nd. Taped earlier this year at the Wilbur Theater in Boston. Great venue. Jim offers The Skinny on everything from appetite suppressants to raising teenagers. We'll take a listen to the trailer. I like that Hulu released a longer than usual trailer. This one's like a minute and a half, so we'll listen to it. My take on it, and I want to share my take before you listen to it. I think the material is really funny, but hear me out. I've got ears with a capital E. I notice things. A few of these jokes get the dreaded clapter, and I think the material deserves a lot better than the clapter it gets, and pay a lot of attention to the final joke. The crowd noise doesn't sound natural to me. I get it's a trailer, but I think they added in some laughter there at the end. But hear me out, though. Like, I'm not here to say, oh, Jim Gaffigan sucks. I think the material here is excellent. I'm just critiquing the art of the trailer. Let's listen.
I don't know if you know, I'm normally a fat guy. But since I've lost all this weight, now I'm just arrogant. People, they won't even say anything to me. They'll just go up to my wife and ask, "Is Jim okay?" Because to them, it's more likely that I'm sick than I would ever have any self-discipline. I know I complain a lot about my family, but they've ruined my life. You ever notice in commercials for alcohol, people are always laughing and having a good time? I just like to see one print ad that shows some expressionless dad sitting alone at a kitchen table with a bottle of booze. My wife was like, "Don't gaslight me." And I was like, "I've never heard that term before." She was like, "You've never heard of gaslighting?" And I was like, "I don't think anyone on this planet has heard of gaslighting. You might be going crazy." And I freely admit my wife has it harder, much harder, but this whole thing is kind of her fault. These children didn't come out of my body. In a way, they're not even my kids.
The Skinny on Hulu, November 22nd. Looking forward to that. Tony Hinchcliffe has resurfaced. I guess the coast is clear, Tony. On social media, Tony reshared an Axios article, which revealed that Trump was backed by 46% of Latino voters. Hinchcliffe also jumped on Instagram Sunday and shared the date of the next White House Correspondents' Dinner. Boy, imagine if they let Tony Hinchcliffe host that thing. On Threads, I've been hanging out on Threads more. The comedy conversations get a lot more interaction than Twitter ever did. And over there, I'm actually at Daily Comedy News. John Marcos Arezi threaded. That's going to take me a minute. Threaded. I'm the opposite of Joe Rogan because I'm pro-vaccine. I voted for Kamala and nobody listens to my podcast. Nathan McIntosh said, "I liked stand-up when I was a kid. I thought it was cool, but then I heard George Carlin in an interview talking about how expensive his watch was before reading a DraftKings ad, and I went, woo, that's awesome." Bernie Sanders has criticized Democrats for their attitude towards Rogan and other podcasts. Sanders was on CNN. He was asked by Dana Bash about the blowback Bernie received years ago when he went on Rogan. Bernie said, "Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Look, you're going to have an argument with Rogan, agree with him, disagree with him, but what's the problem with going on those shows? It's hard for me to understand that." Veer Das has stirred it up on social media. He shared a clip from his Mindful World Tour show on Twitter. In the video, we hear Veer Das say, "Congratulations, America, you are great again." It's probably wisest for me if I let Veer Das's words speak for themselves. I'll play them here. I have edited the clip for language, and Veer or his team have edited the clip. I see some video jumps as I play it on X. Before I play it, though, also want to call your attention to, here's what a crowd normally sounds like, because I keep bringing up, and I brought it up earlier with the Gaffigan trailer, that sometimes on these comedy specials, my ears go, that doesn't sound natural. Listen to this clip. This is a natural-sounding crowd, and you don't always get that in the comedy specials. Anyway, here's Veer Das.
Hey, congrats, America. You are great again. Donald J. Trump is going to be your president for the next 4 to 25 years. Yeah, sure, yeah, absolutely. Great, well done. At least now the mask is off. You know what kind of country you are, you know what kind of messaging it is. Because your messaging was a little outdated. Right? It was like America, land of the free, and we were like, yeah, outdated. America, yes we can, yeah, outdated. But now you know, it's like America. They're eating the dogs. This is you now. He was always going to win. He's too entertaining. You have an addiction to entertainment in this country, right? Your president has to be entertaining. And I don't know another 78-year-old white man who is more entertaining than him.
On Last Week Tonight, John Oliver said on Tuesday, Trump won re-election, which is, to put it mildly, not what I was personally hoping would happen. And honestly, in Trump's victory speech, he couldn't seem to believe it either. Oliver then played a clip from that speech where Trump said, "We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it's now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing," adding, "Look what happened. Is this crazy?" Oliver said, "Yeah, it is crazy. It's really crazy." He's basically one sentence away from saying, "I mean, you guys saw what I did, right? And you still voted for this? That doesn't make any sense." If you need more political humor, check out the Ballot podcast, wherever you get your shows. Switching topics, the series Black Comedy in America is back tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern and Pacific on Vice. The Hollywood Reporter spoke with Chris Spencer and Dion Cole. Chris Spencer said, "It's great watching co-host Ryan because some of the stuff we assume everyone knows he doesn't know. He was like, I didn't know about Eddie Murphy until 1998. I didn't watch Richard Pryor until 2013. He's young, 27 or 28, so hearing his frame of reference and watching us grow up, and the things that were immediate to us are still above him." Dion Cole said, "Black comedy is truth, pure, raw, uncut truth. Ain't no bouncing around it, ain't no metaphors, ain't no puns, ain't none of that. It's just straight truth." Spencer said, "I agree, and I have an example of the straight truth, especially with black audiences and stand-up. We don't care who you are. If you don't bring it, then we're going to let you hear it. When audiences go, well, he must be a professional. He's on stage. I paid my money. Let's give him a chance. We don't care who you are. Eddie, Richard, Dave." Cole said, "It's not just the comedian that's truthful, it's the audience too. It's the whole experience. It's not an untruthful audience when it comes to black comedy. They're going to let you know. I don't care who you are." To Chris's point, I've seen some of the hottest go on stage, and the audience will give you a graceful 5 minutes because of who you are, and then after that, Spencer said, no sugarcoating. Black Comedy in America, tonight, 10 o'clock on Vice. I don't know if you know this, Saturday Night Live turns 50 this year, and we're going to talk about it every single day. Entertainment Weekly caught up with Dana Carvey, who I don't understand why he was on SNL this week. Please let the current cast do their thing. Nothing against Dana Carvey. Dana, bring back the Dana Carvey show with your original cast. I'll watch the heck out of that. But it's not your time on SNL. Let someone else have a chance. Dana spoke about meeting Kamala Harris. He was walking down the hallway. He was still dressed as Biden. Kamala's staff said, "Hey, so I had about a minute face-to-face with her, and I just did all my Biden hooks." She laughed so hard, she was bent over laughing. Carvey was intrigued by her approval, saying, "That was kind of interesting. I guess she sees this from all different points of view, but it seemed cathartic or something. I don't know. People seem to like it." He was also impressed by the Secret Service. They seemed to be 6'5". They had helmets, they had flak jackets, big boots, night vision goggles, and then this assault rifle or machine gun or whatever it was. And I'm dressed as a tomato, and I'm like, "Hi, fellas." From the Moscow Times, your home for comedy news, a new Russian series titled Goodbye has hit the screens. Goodbye is the story of a character representing Joe Biden, who, by twist of fate, finds himself lost in Russia, stumbling through absurd, almost slapstick situations. The Moscow Times says the ambitions were lofty to present the leader of a global superpower fumbling through unfamiliar situations in a foreign land. However, the series ends up being nothing but a loose chain of jokes, desperately chasing cheap laughs while losing any depth in the process. Biden here is not portrayed as a political figure, but as a caricature, bumbling, tongue-tied, and seemingly devoid of any control over his surroundings. Is that any different than what we do here in the States? The folks at the Moscow Times might not enjoy Saturday Night Live. They call it Goodbye is less a comedic triumph than a farewell to quality satire on Russian television. All right, let's see what's at the New York Comedy Festival tonight. I'm laughing here as I'm recording on Monday. Somebody needs to update the website because the banner says the laughter starts in -5 days. Unless that's supposed to be a joke, but I don't think it is. Let's see. Some folks you may have heard of, 7:30 at Rodney's Comedy Club. The No Apologies Comedy Tour with Tom Cotter, Tammy Pascatelli, and Jim Florentine. 7:30 at Union Hall. Pretty Major, hosted by Jay Jordan and Zach Zimmerman. That's a good show. That's a good lineup. K. Trevor Wilson is at Chelsea Music Hall at 8:30. I saw him at the Toronto Comedy Festival. Oh, it's over a decade ago now. I'm getting old, but he was really good. And not too many other big names tonight. It is a Tuesday night, and it'll pick up as the week goes on. Some other things I wanted to talk about, having nothing to do with comedy. Watched a lot of TV recently. Disclaimer on Apple. I won't spoil it at all. Just trust me. Go for the ride. This is not a spoiler. I was 3 episodes in and went, oh, that's Sacha Baron Cohen. I didn't even notice it was him. The plot is really good of that. Penguin, did you watch Penguin? Penguin finished on Sunday night. Very strong. No spoilers. Penguin is absolutely worth watching it. I have described it to people as Gotham City Sopranos. There's nothing Batman about it. It's really good. Yellowstone. Yellowstone is back. I won't say a word about Yellowstone. If you watched Yellowstone, you know why you would be curious about the return of Yellowstone. If you want to talk about Yellowstone, hit me up on social media. And the trailer for Gladiator 2. I recently watched the first Gladiator, which is a fantastic movie. So I'm looking at this one going, all right, Gladiator, Denzel, yeah, this should be pretty good. The CGI looks like it got worse. There's like monkeys and a rhino or something, a hippo. I don't know what it is. I guess it's a rhino in the trailer, and it all just looks fake. It looked better 25 years ago. Sometimes CGI too much. Anyway, that is your comedy news for today. Don't forget, I host the show 5 Good News Stories Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And this time of year, I'm doing Christmas episodes on Saturday. 5 stories, all of them good news. Number 5, Good News Stories, wherever you get your shows. Meet you back here tomorrow.